Welcome to another episode of Pure Bliss and Balance, a place to help you and your family have your most resilient and happy life. I'm your host, Jennifer, and today we're going to meet another amazing guest speaker. Our special guest today has a personal story to share, and she's on a mission to provide hope for those that suffer with various forms of chronic pain and the special condition known as fibromyalgia through her expertise as a holistic nutritionist. Having said that, it's now time to introduce you to our amazing guest and start that conversation now. Welcome, Amanda Elise Love. So glad to have you here today. I'm looking forward to sharing your mission with the world. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
It's exciting times. We are definitely living in unprecedented times from a global perspective, and we're dealing with all kinds of health issues. And really looking forward to digging a little deeper with your thoughts on how we can help our global family feel better during these stressful times. I'd love to hear a little bit more about your story and your mission. Can you please share? Looking forward to hearing more.
So, I'm a registered holistic nutritionist. My journey started probably as soon as I was born. I was born 6 weeks early. And I had this journey of sickness. I was constantly sick. Every week from actually, pretty much since I was a baby till like 14. And then I was sick every 4 to 6 weeks after that. Low grade fevers at one point, sinus infections constantly. Then I used to run high fevers for several years. So eventually, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia at 20 because I went to a rheumatologist and they said, well, you have fibromyalgia. I was dealing with fatigue. I was dealing with headaches. I was getting headaches like every single day. In 2011, this spring, my grandmother was like, found a little newspaper clipping and said, wellness taught by a wellness chiropractor. And he said to her, this was in Gilbert, Arizona. It was 10 minutes away. He said, if your granddaughter has fibromyalgia at 20 years old, she's been very, very sick for a very long time.
Wow.
Yeah. And so a light bulb went off in my grandma's head, and she's thought, oh, he gets it. And she had done nursing. And
Mm.
so that started my journey of 8 months of working with him. And that's going to be 10 years in the summer. But I tell people it's a journey with your health.
With that in mind, we should probably talk about what fibromyalgia is. There's a lot of people out there that don't know what it is, number one, and number two, there is a lot of misconceptions of what fibro is as well. Would maybe we can speak to that a little bit more so that we can educate our global family a little bit more about what this is, because a lot of people probably have experienced someone they know with this and not even realized. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always say fibromyalgia is like, it's the banner with all these other health issues that you're probably, but I always say fibromyalgia is, if it's very excruciating pain, I would say. Your neck, your back, your legs, your arms. I feel like people think this might, I think people think are like, well, I have a little pain. That's not it, honestly. I mean, if you think of like the worst pain you have, and then just think about like it not going away all day long, right? I think people with fibromyalgia, a big thing with fibromyalgia is you're exhausted. You can't get out of bed. You can't get off the couch. Or if you are doing those things, you're probably pushing your body past its limits, because I think a lot of people with fibromyalgia, we we might be a little type A personalities, right? I feel like we will help everybody else before we help ourselves. Um, I would always say pain, like if you're not taking a shower, I remember would be excruciating. I remember people, I remember my aunt came up to me one time and she was giving me a hug and my shoulders, it like hurt to have people hug me. Like that used to like, that was one of the things where that was awful for me because so when I was able to feel better, a hug was such a big deal. Like, and I think people with fibromyalgia, we always deal with like IBS, we might have headaches, sleep is a huge thing. If you're not getting that deep, restful sleep with fibromyalgia, that's a big thing. I think people don't fall asleep, stay asleep. And then I always say people with fibromyalgia, you feel like a truck has hit you in the morning. So it's so many different things. Like those are just like the top things that I would say you deal with fibromyalgia. Brain fog is a huge thing that people deal with. They not being able to focus. So there's so many things with fibromyalgia, but you have to start with one at a time.
Thank you for kind of going through that, because yes, it is a conversation in itself, and we could expand on that for quite a long time in terms of symptoms and who gets it. I mean, it's I know there's a myth out there in terms of age. Can you speak to that a little bit about how some people think there's a certain age where people get fibro? Is that true?
I don't think to me personally, I don't think there is an age. Um, I get told a lot of times people are like, well, I think I had it super young, like in my 20s, my 30s. Look, I was diagnosed at 20.
Hmm.
So, um, and when I went to the wellness chiropractor and he told that to my grandmother, that saying, um, maybe I had it earlier, but something set it off, right? There's something that sets off fibromyalgia, but you've probably been sick dealing with some health issues before there's something, some big illness that maybe pushed you to your body to the breaking point, and then you started with the fibromyalgia, right? I think trauma could play a part. I think we don't talk about trauma enough, right? I feel like, well, what trauma did you have in your childhood that's draining your body, draining your immune system, draining all of this stuff, right? But we all deal with trauma in our all different ways. But an accident could set it off, right? There's so many things, right? But I think the main thing is, well, what are we doing to get ourselves back to living?
Ah, I love the way you say that. What are we doing to get ourselves back to living? So many of our global family members are suffering chronic pain, and it doesn't have to be just fibro. It can be rheumatoid
Yeah,
arthritis. It could just be osteoarthritis. It could be anything. People suffer migraines. I have family members who have there's a history of migraines in my family, and as
right.
you've alluded to, I've had a journey of health issues as well. That thank goodness for the education. Like as you said, I've gone on a journey of education as well to help address those and ameliorate the situation so that there is enhanced quality of life. And would you agree that our journeys, I know for me, it's led me on a mission to help others, and it sounds to me like that's been your path to give
Yeah,
people hope, right?
right. I think our journeys shape us. And what honestly, I totally think with my journey, it's totally shaped me. I think people I talk to who get into the wellness space, it's all goes back to, well, I dealt with this health condition and I didn't want others to struggle with it. And our journeys, we could, our journeys can define, like, define us, or they can be something where we rise above. Whatever our health journey is, we could say, well, I've gone through this health journey. So what is my purpose in it? Right. I say this a lot, and I always thought, okay, when I was at my worst, what what is the purpose of this? I knew there was a purpose. I am a Christian, so I knew God had a purpose for why, but I didn't know. And just in this, honestly, in this last year, but last like 5, 6 months, it's slowly starting to see, okay, well, you went through all of that, but there is a other side, right? There is a other side to get to this health journey. It doesn't always have to mean that you're actually make it a career or whatever, but even if you help one person, it's a ripple effect and it will help someone else and it'll help someone else.
Oh, such inspiring words. Thank you for sharing that. And it ties into mindset, right? It's all about how we choose and to see our world and what we're faced with. And it's such a powerful tool, don't you agree, in terms of that positive shift, that positive mindset approach?
Yeah, I totally agree. Honestly, it's something I talk about a lot. And I find if your mindset isn't, if you don't, if you say, well, I've done everything, I've done all of it, my family and friends are the ones who can help me with the health condition, but the family and friends don't know about, like, they don't know anything about the health condition. You're getting something from that, maybe sympathy, right? And you have to change the mindset to, oh, I'm going to be well, even if it sounds crazy, just say it over and over again, because it sort of shifts you into the mindset of, okay, I need to take care of myself. I need to eat a little better. I need to change my food. I need to be taking those supplements. I need to be asking my doctors, well, I've been on this medication for 6, 7, 10 years. And, should I get off of this medication? Should I change it up? Right. I think with our health journey, always need to be trying things and experimenting because you never know what's going to be the thing that helps you feel even better than you feel now today.